My fiancé laughed with her ex all night until he whispered, "Still the best I've ever had." Her face froze when I walked up. I should have trusted my gut when Liora insisted we go to her high school reunion. She'd brought it up casually 3 weeks ago while we were watching Netflix, saying her friend Callista had mentioned it, but then she started bringing it up every few days. "It might be fun," she'd say, just to see how everyone turned out. She spent 2 hours getting ready, trying on 3 different dresses, which was weird because she usually throws on whatever's clean. First the black one, too formal, then the blue one, not right either. Finally, she settled on this red dress I'd never seen before. When I asked if it was new, she got defensive. "I've had this forever. You just don't pay attention." The drive there was strange too. She kept checking her makeup in the visor mirror and asking if I thought she looked okay. Liora never asks stuff like that. She's always been confident, sometimes to a fault. But that night she seemed nervous, almost jittery. The moment we walked into that hotel ballroom, she spotted him, Cassian, her ex from senior year, the one she barely remembered according to her whenever his name came up over the years. But the way her eyes immediately found him across that crowded room told a different story. "Oh wow, is that Cassian?" she said, like she was surprised. But I noticed she'd already started walking in his direction before she even finished the sentence. I grabbed us drinks while she went to say a quick hello. That quick hello turned into an hour of them huddled in the corner, laughing like teenagers. I tried mingling with other people, making small talk with classmates I'd never met, but I kept glancing over at them. She was touching his arm, leaning in close, completely forgetting I existed. At one point, some guy named Brant tried to include me in a conversation about his real estate business, but I was barely listening. I was watching my fiancé act like a completely different person. Cassian looked good, I had to admit. Still had that athlete build, perfectly styled hair, expensive watch. The kind of guy who probably still got carded at bars not because he looked young, but because he looked like someone who mattered. Liora kept playing with her hair, something she only did when she was flirting. I'd seen her do it on our first date, twirling a strand around her finger while she laughed at my jokes. Now she was doing it for him. I tried to catch her eye a few times, but she was completely absorbed in whatever story Cassian was telling. He'd gesture with his hands, she'd throw her head back laughing, and I'd feel more invisible by the minute. Other people started noticing too. I caught Callista staring at them with raised eyebrows. Even Cassian's current girlfriend, some blonde who looked like she stepped out of a magazine, kept glancing over with obvious annoyance. I finished my beer and got another one, then another. The bartender started recognizing me as the guy whose girl is with Cassian. That's when I knew it was bad. By the 3rd hour, I couldn't take it anymore. Liora hadn't spoken to me since we'd arrived, hadn't even looked for me. When I tried to join their conversation earlier, Cassian had barely acknowledged me, and Liora had given me this look, like I was interrupting something important. When I finally walked over with her wine, I caught the tail end of their conversation. "Remember that time we snuck out to the lake?" Cassian was saying, grinning. Liora giggled, actually giggled. "Oh my god, yes, that was so crazy." Her voice was different, lighter, the way she used to sound when we first started dating, before things got comfortable and routine. Then Cassian leaned in closer and whispered something in her ear. I was maybe 3 feet away when I heard it clearly. "Still the best I've ever had." Leora's face went completely white. The laughter died instantly. She saw me standing there holding her drink, and panic flashed across her face. "Babe, there you are," she said, voice shaking. "Cassian was just telling me about his new job in marketing." I looked at Cassian. He wasn't even trying to hide his smirk. "Yeah," I said slowly, handing her the wine. "Sounds fascinating." The ride home was dead silent. We broke up the next morning.